Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for watching this video here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Today we're going to talk about this really powerful full moon in the sign of Aries, and thank you again for your patience. I know I scheduled this for 7, it's already 7:40. It's just like one of those days. It's kind of how the energy has been going. I was actually in Sedona today hanging out with Rodin from Water Baby. We met up and we had an amazing time. We went to lunch together, and then we went on a hike and with my dog, and we did like a cute little like photo shoot, and we just had a blast, and it was amazing. So I'm really thankful for that, and I'm really just going with the flow. So I know it's already like way later than I normally go live, but today's the astrology video, and the astrology videos don't tend to be super long, but they tend to be like really powerful. So I am so freaking excited to go over the astrology of this moon. This is how this moon is, like literally how I feel right now. I've been on fire, and I literally didn't even sleep last night. I mean, I feel so charged up right now. It's insane. But let me say hi to everybody that is in the chat. Traylene, hello. Steph, hello. Veronica, welcome in. Chris, first time here, welcome. So good to have you. Dancing River of Stars, welcome in. Sage, hello. Rebecca, welcome. Sylvia, welcome. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate that. Because there ain't no party like an Aries party, baby. Oh, yeah. We forgot our the special glasses that go on when we could do moon stuff. Actually kidding, because they're like super dirty. I can't see them. I can't see through them. Hello, Kai. Welcome in. All right. So, hello, Valerie. Welcome in. Hello, Noelle. Welcome in. So what I want to share with you guys before we dive into the astrology is the special holiday reading that is now available for purchase. It's a reading that I'm only doing through December 31st, so just for the holiday season. I know it's like the early holiday season, but whatever. We're just gonna go for it. Here comes my matcha latte. Thanks, babe. Because you know. Oh, that was hilarious. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Carmelola. So we are having this special holiday reading. And what this reading is basically everything that I have like learned, all the modalities that I have learned, like meditation, astrology, gene keys, astral travel, shamanic journeys, like all kinds of stuff, energy clearing and healing. So we're literally can explore through any of these energies. So I like how my face is like shiny. Oh my God. So we can explore. I put makeup on today and I put the primer on first and it like just makes I'm not oily, I swear. Okay. But anyways, so this reading is an hour reading that is face to face, which is not common for my readings. Usually I kind of record them. No, not kind of. I do record them and I send them to you guys. And but this one is live. And we will allow like the intuition to guide us to whatever it is you need to understand in that moment, whatever modality we need to use. This is also basically a type of reading that I may add to my regular readings. We'll see how they go, but for now it's just available through December 31st. So if you want to book one, make sure that you do. And now let's actually talk about the astrology. I'm going to switch over to this view so you're not like staring at my shiny face. And I'm going to connect my iPad real quick. So let's see. And I'm going to show you guys the chart of this full moon and go into detail everything that everything that is coming up. And and if you don't know, now you know. I'm out of my mind right now. Okay, so because I was also rushing to get here, driving back from Sedona, like going 80 on the highway, like, okay, I'm going to be late, so it doesn't matter anyways, but still trying to get here somewhat on time. But I'm also, you guys, hold on. The gene keys. So, this weekend, I legit figured out like exactly how the gene keys work, how they figure it out. And guess what? The gene keys are figured out through your astrology. Like what? Like first they look at your basically your natal chart. And the conglomeration of gene keys in your profile, they call it the hologenetic profile, comes from your astrology. So, I'm going to be talking about these. Anyways, I figured out how to tell what gene key the full moon or the new moon is at, what gene key any planet is at. So I'm going to start talking about the gene keys when I talk about astrology because these are legit. Look at this book. It is fat. Okay. So here we go. Hello, go with the flow. Welcome in. So what we're going to talk about today, you ordered it? Yes, it's amazing. It's blowing my mind. I'm actually taking the course that they have available online. Blowing my mind. I love the gene keys. Ooh, I made that matcha latte good. All right, here we go. So with an Aries moon, this is the chart of the full moon. So it is like an algorithm they use. Well, basically, your life's work is your sun sign. Did you know that? Because I was like, when I found out. And then the evolution sphere, the first two spheres. Oh, come on now. The first two spheres are, it's funny because one of my shadows is impatience. I'm learning about that. But the evolution sphere is the earth, the sign that the earth was in when you were born, which is basically the opposite of the sun. So for example, I'm a sun in Gemini at 13 degrees. And so in the opposite, Sagittarius, 13 degrees, That's my evolution, life's work and evolution within your hologenetic profile. So that's just like a little bit of this amazing information that I discovered about the gene keys, and ain't nothing gonna stop me now. How does that song go? Oh man, it's in my head. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. I sounded like Michael. Michael? Who's Michael? Oh, really honored. Oh, thank you for that donation, Flo. Okay, so when you look at an Aries moon of any kind, what is Don saying? Stop. It's more that he says I'm on fire. It's more, okay, I'm just like, I'm like, I hate to use the word, but the way that I feel with this moon is manic. And I think you guys can feel that energy. Oh, the peace dealer. So that's how literally how this moon feels to me. And you guys, I mean, I don't always look and talk like this. I mean, sometimes I do, I get crazy, but I just feel so charged up. I'm like, like vibrating high, like legit. So whenever you have a moon in Aries, the main thing that you look at is like the energies of Aries in general. And Aries is all, let's see if I can try to get serious. Aries is all about taking action, initiating change. It has to do with having the courage to go down the road less traveled. It is also about how we identify ourselves and our sense of self in general. It is all about us. So Aries is us, Aries is like us, like me, myself, and I is all I got. And then Libra is like we, us together, right? So it's all about us, not them. It is a time for confidence and willpower and the gift of innocence to trust fully and almost impulsively in our path forward, despite any fears. The manic Gemini twin. Yes, that's me today. Oh, your students were super silly. Yeah, that's so cute. That's so cute. So what we're looking at here, that's in general Aries energy. I need to turn this around. What we're looking at here is a moon in Aries at 27 degrees and a sun in Libra at 27 degrees. So these two are exactly opposing each other. Libra, Aries always opposes each other. So that's how you can tell that you are looking at a full moon. Now, the first part that is significant, at 27 degrees, there is a star called Vertex. Who's gotten a starseed reading from me? If you've gotten a starseed reading from me and you have this marking in your chart, that is an Andromeda starseed marking. So we're looking at Andromeda starseed family, Andromeda starseed energy coming through this full moon. So the Andromeda story is the story of Perseus, Medusa. It's all intertwined. But the specific story of Andromeda is that Perseus has recently defeated Medusa, which basically means he chopped off her head and carries it with him in a bag. And he's just like passing through. And on the side of a cliff, chained to a rock by the sea, is Andromeda, who is the princess, who her mom was basically being punished by the sea god Poseidon or Neptune, because her mother had boasted that her daughter was more beautiful than the Nereids, the servants of Poseidon. So Poseidon was going to punish her. This horrible sea monster was coming to get her. And Perseus just happens to be passing by, probably on Pegasus, his winged horse, sees Medusa, sees Andromeda, uses Medusa's head, her eyes, because like when you would look at Medusa's eyes, she would petrify you. He uses Medusa's eyes to petrify the monster and saves Andromeda. And so the symbolism, okay, so like Andromeda represents the soul who is chained to a rock, which is the soul basically chained to a body in the physical world. So this is the symbolism that comes from the story. So the soul is chained to a rock. The soul is forced to live on earth in a human body, right? Karma, the cycle of incarnation, all that stuff. And past lives and all that. And so when Perseus frees Medusa, he basically liberates her. He liberates the soul. And that is one of the biggest themes of this moon, because the moon happens to be exactly on that star Vertex, which is one of the most powerful stars in the Andromeda constellation. So this is about the liberation of the soul. And it makes sense that it would be in this area, right? Because this is Western astrology, and this is where we find this, star. And it makes sense that it's the liberation of the soul, because that's Aries too. Aries is so much about connecting to the freedom. It's an impulse that, of course, can be expressed in a negative way, but it's the kind of impulse that an innocent child has to go play, to go for what they want, to just, it's freedom. It is liberation. So this is why this moon is such a powerful energy and a powerful moon. And that's literally just the star that this full moon is aligned with. Now, when we look at the opposite side of the spectrum, basically Mars, which is, they're not exactly conjunct with the sun, but they are within orb. So they are conjunct here. They're in the same sign. Mars is exactly on a star called Spica. Oops, you guys can't see it like that. A star called Spica. And this star is actually an Arcturus starseed marking. And the Arcturians are basically master healers. They are here to help usher in the new world. And what they do, one of the things that they're inspired by is like new ways of living that is in alignment with the earth, like sustainable energy. But they really bring in, they want balance and harmony in the world. And they are master healers as well. So this is, so the healing energy comes through this Arcturus starseed energy, and the freedom and the liberation comes through the Andromeda starseed energy. So both of these are getting like massively aspected during this full moon. The other thing that's happening is, of course, if the moon is opposing the sun, then she's also opposing Mars. And this can bring up impatience, which is one of my biggest shadows. This can bring up moodiness. It can bring up irritation. You got to find a way to let off the steam. So, for example, with so much energy, I was like, we should go out. We need to go out. I was like, I got to get out. I got to get out of the house, because otherwise I'll just like go crazy inside. And we did. And it was the most amazing thing. We got to see the trees that are changing colors. We got to see like the river and the creeks. We got to enjoy being out and about in a beautiful place like Sedona, which is a spiritual center. So that's where we go to get charged up. And then we got to take this beautiful hike, in one of the vortexes. So it helped to clear the energy. And that's something that's really important for us to do during the next few days. And it stems from this opposition from the moon to Mars. Now, the other thing that's significant about this full moon is that it is in the same sign as Chiron. Chiron in Aries has been and is continuously, the theme for humanity is to heal collectively our identity of who we are. Who are we as a humanity? Individually, who are we within ourselves? Do we feel that, think of Mulan. When will my reflection show who I am inside? Are you living your life authentically with who you are, or are you living inauthentically where your life doesn't match what you truly want inside? And if that's the case, that's what Chiron is asking you to look at so that you can heal it, face it first of all, and then heal it, and then start to live life more fully within yourself, right? In this sort of liberated, beautiful, powerfully liberated space. And that's the significance, is that them being in the same sign and this being a full moon in Aries brings up that healing that Chiron is continuously asking us to do. There is an aspect that is very significant, and it is that this moon is actually making a square to the planet Pluto. And this can lead, it can go both ways. It can lead to this compulsive, destructive behavior, because what happens is deeply buried feelings are exposed. Things that are underneath the surface that normally are like underground, like you buried it, right? Like it's in its little grave. Well, it woke up and it came out of its little grave, right? So it's difficult to control the intense emotions that can come up and the reactions that we have. But it is actually a part of the healing, and this is what makes it positive. It is actually healing to get them out of your subconscious into your conscious awareness, so that then you can contemplate and meditate on it and just be with it. No judgment, but just be with it so that you can process, and some message will come through for sure. This can also be emotional power struggles with any people in your life, family, partners, people in your life may become like, you may sense a ruthless energy from people. And so the ruthlessness is caused by, jealousy. It causes manipulation, guilt tripping, bullying, even to the extent where, like, if it goes way overboard, I mean, this becomes violence, right? And so with all of these possibilities, it is so important to be in that sacred space where you are the observer, and you do not react, especially when those, like, kind of to hurt others, right? When those negative kind of emotions come up. Conscious awareness as to what comes up for you is going to help you deal with it. Deal with those dark areas of human nature within yourself, facing it within others, addiction, fears, phobias, things like that. Family secrets can come up during this time. And things, habits, old habits and patterns and stories. But whatever the case, this specific transit leads to the elimination of bad habits. You guys, have you seen when I pull the Panther card from the animal spirit, the annihilation of the unnecessary? This is basically what this is. It makes sense, because in order to be fully liberated and live life in this liberated way, we need to annihilate the unnecessary. You can't carry the weight. The Fool in the major arcana doesn't have like a big old luggage. He's just like basically just him and his little, whatever they call it. He doesn't really have that many things. He doesn't have that much baggage. He doesn't have baggage. So this is about releasing the baggage. Now, that's probably maybe one of the more challenging aspects, but there are some really positive aspects. One of them is that the sun is still technically with an orb making a trine to Jupiter. And that's a very positive energy that brings optimism. Mars as well is also still trining Jupiter. So that's where whatever you focus your action on, you can literally manifest that. It will manifest. Mars trines Jupiter adds the drive, the motivation, the inspiration to do the things that are going to bring you that abundance, that are going to bring you that beautiful expansion, expansive energy. Then we also have Venus making a trine to Chiron. And this is an interesting aspect. This trine does bring up karmic sexual experiences, past life issues that have to do with sexuality, or, issues that come up within your current relationships. And so they come up because it's an opportunity to, again, become conscious, aware. Bring the subconscious to the conscious awareness so that you can contemplate and transform and transmute the energy through the conscious awareness. Because remember that this is a big aspect of life in general, and spiritual awakening and spiritual release and expansion is the fact that our conscious awareness, everything, remember, the first law of Hermetic alchemy is everything is mind. Everything is mind. Mentalismo. It is all about the mind. The mind can affect particles, and that's exactly what happens with your own DNA. Because when you use the mind to focus on negative shit shows up in your life. When you use the mind and you're in that high frequency vibration, you elevate yourself out of those funky energies. You lift yourself up. And in that different realm, there's a whole nother layer of things that you can manifest that are of higher frequency, which means that they bring a higher, more sort of the lighter energies, the lighter emotions. You attract those things when you're in that state. So the awareness is key. You can literally change your DNA by changing your awareness, by just contemplating on something. This is quantum healing. You're like quantumly hypnotizing yourself when you contemplate on the healing and the shadows of your life and how to elevate yourself and how to be with it, process it. So there's a lot going on with this moon. Mercury is making a trine to Saturn. So remember, the trines are really positive energies. Mercury trine Saturn is going to give us a serious frame of mind, but with good concentration and attention to detail. You will get things done neatly, without mistakes, and on time. So that's a beautiful aspect that is helping us in this moment during this moon. Where are we at? Mercury is also, here we go, making an opposition to Chiron. Now, it's a very activated position. Remember, Mercury is the alchemist, the magician, right? Thoth, the Hermetic alchemist. And so this activates that energy. So it's a very activated position that harnesses the power of the planet Saturn with like that strength to and practicality with Uranus, which is the power to change and shift and revolutionize yourself, balance so that your mind can function at its optimum. So this is another thing. Also, what this aspect can bring up is occult energies. So the mystery schools, the initiate, the occult mastery coming through your work. So reading, writing, expressing yourself, any of those things, any kind of alchemy will manifest the mastery of the occult traditions. And especially if you have markings in your chart, starseed markings that speak of you have been connected to ancient mystery schools in past lives, this is a moment where that energy gets activated and it starts to come through. So when you channel it through Mercury, with Chiron, it's about healing, but with Mercury, it's about communicating it. So maybe it's time to share what is coming through for you. The other aspect that is going on is Saturn is making a sextile to Chiron. So you see how much Chiron is involved with this moon. Chiron is in Aries. It's a full moon in Aries. Venus is trining Chiron. Mercury is opposing Chiron. Saturn is sextiling Chiron. I mean, Chiron it's a big deal here. He's a big deal. And this sextile is a powerful aspect which exemplifies the mature and productive qualities of Saturn and stabilizes Chiron. So this is intuition and healing in balance with practicality. So how many beautiful things are helping us to activate these beautiful energies, this powerful liberation energy of this moon? Creative energy, passionate energy of this moon. I mean, it's really, really amazing. And so that's what we look at when we look at the astrological chart. But now I want to go over the Sabian symbol of the moon and the Chandra symbol, and then also the gene keys to add more of the more meaning to these beautiful energies, and then we'll go through all of the signs. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Okay. So here we go. And yes, thank you guys. Definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and also download my free moon astrology guide. It'll get you onto my email list. I send out a weekly, there's 33 in the chat, a weekly moon magic report, and to give you the astrology forecast for the week. Wednesday to Wednesday is when that comes out. But being on the list is the best way to stay in contact, to know everything that's coming up. And I promise you, there's a lot of cool ass shit about to go down on the channel, which I can't wait to share, but I'm just trying to like trickle it. I want to trickle it. So let's start with the Sabian symbol. And it's on page 44, believe it or not. That's auspicious. So, hello, Shannon. Welcome in. Here we go. So 27, give me 1 second. Let me just make sure, whoops, I've got the right page. All right. All right, here we go. So the Sabian symbol for 27 degrees of Aries is: amidst laughs of recognition, a comedian delivers a fast-paced monologue satirizing human foibles. This is satirical commentary on the ridiculous aspects of human behavior. This is telling it like it is, without a whole lot of window dressing, debunking the false or the insincere, very critical but also warm-hearted, using topical humor or insightful questions to get people to rethink their ideas. Absurdism, stirring people up in order to wake them up. Remember, we have to liberate ourselves. We have to wake up. We have to become aware. Cultivating controversy and even notoriety to spread ideas. Psychological acuity, figuring out people's agendas and dodging their games. They don't miss a trick. They're very sly and very clever energy. Mental or physical agility. Verbal acrobatics. I like that. Maintaining a dignified presence on the public stage. And even when one is engaged in tomfoolery, whatever that is, deepening or sharpening public discussion and asking fresh questions, liberating. Iconoclasm. That is the Sabian symbol for 27 degrees of Aries. And then the Chandra symbol, for 27 degrees of Aries, I just want to make sure I got it right, is a wreath of laurel placed on the head of an old man. The soul's journey is absolutely endless, and you sense throughout that journey that somebody is watching. The greater dynamic is at work here, and you live into that ultimate aspect from the very beginning. You simply know that your destiny must and will be fulfilled. There is a higher vibrational inside track that accompanies each step, every phase, and that otherness gives you back yourself in such a fashion that you are never alone, not incomplete, nevertheless then whole. All of the vital agitations only serve to quicken the pace, to bring you back on the spiral to that vital place again where you are known and acknowledged, and from which you can go forth and know and acknowledge others in their destiny light, seen and sensed and known, free of all qualifications. All right, so hang on one second because I think I may have read the wrong ones. Of course, I would totally do that here live on camera. So let me just verify real quick because the ones I had written down are different. But anyways, either way, this Aries energy is one of the most powerful energies. Okay, so I think I did read them wrong. That's fine because for whatever reason, that message needed to go through. We needed to listen to that message. So now we're going to listen to another one that is actually going to bring even more symbolism to this. And remember, you have to let it flow. You got to just let it keep flowing. For whatever reason, I just read those. So whoever needed to hear that just heard it. Okay, so here we go. We are going to look at a couple of different energies as well. And so let's try this again. This is cracking me up. All right. Before a cheering audience, a rock star steps out of a pillar of fire and launches into a wildly passionate performance. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was super funny. So here it is. Before a cheering audience, a rock star steps out of a pillar of fire and launches into a wildly passionate performance. That sounds more like the energy that I feel. This is exceptional talents that demand one's total dedication, giving oneself over to one's muse or one's genius, immolating oneself in the creative process, controlled passion versus creative frenzy, materializing an artistic vision through energetic application, unusual and noteworthy creations, winning recognition for one's talents and accomplishments, creating a hit that becomes one's signature, one-hit wonders, giving the public what it wants versus giving it what it needs, performances that burst the bounds of established forms. Yeah, exactly. Openings, unveilings, firsts, right? Aries is about initiation, inspiring demonstrations of human capabilities, touching the creative fire in God's mind versus paralyzing intoxication with one's many potentials or one's many projects, exuberant self-expression. So before a cheering audience, so there we have a cheering audience, a rock star, that's you're the rock star, steps out of a pillar of fire and launches into a wildly passionate performance. That is amazing. I absolutely love that energy. And that is exactly how this feels to me, for sure. So then we have the Chandra symbol. It's so funny. I can't believe I read the wrong ones. All right. The man in the moon smiling. Okay. This is living on the edge, poised at many brinks, swept up in a tide of changes, chaotic and magnificent, everywhere at once. You are creative and generative, overwhelmed and overstimulated, but primarily exulting in yourself and your emergent capacities, falling in love with the dance of destiny you find yourself in, ecstatic release in being able to catch the spark as it flies. Very fast, very strong, very remarkable, and knowing it. The man in the moon smiling, living on the edge, poised at many brinks, swept up in a tide of changes, chaotic and magnificent, everywhere at once. You are creative and generative, overwhelmed and overstimulated, but primarily exulting in yourself and your emergent capacities, falling in love with the dance of destiny you find yourself in, ecstatic release in being able to catch the spark as it flies, very fast, very strong, very remarkable, and knowing it. So those were the actual Sabian symbols and Chandra symbols for this powerful moon. And you can tell like just the energy that comes through that. So now I want to talk just really briefly before we go through all the signs. I want to talk about the gene keys and what gene key the moon is in and what gene key the sun is in. Because since they are oppositions, you're going to be looking at programming partners within the genome, right? The codex, the DNA codex of the gene keys. When they're opposing energies, they're called programming partners. So these two energies are working together within the collective, affecting us, asking us to evolve, asking us to transcend, asking us to transmute these specific energies found in these two gene keys. The moon is found for this full moon on the third gene key. And the third gene key is literally called through the eyes of a child. How beautiful is that? I love the image that creates because it really brings up that innocence that comes through this energy of Aries, through the eyes of a child. The shadow. This third gene key moves from the shadow of chaos to the gift of innovation, to the siddhi, S-I-D-D-H-I, to the divine gift of innocence. So the collective energies right now are asking us to, yes, there's chaos going on. That's the shadow that collectively we are in. It's chaotic. Life is chaotic. But without the chaos, from that chaos, you have to resolve the chaos to create something new. How do you resolve the chaos? You don't try to stop the chaos. It's almost like you have to innovate into something different. You have to transform it. You have to start something new. The chaos itself is not a negative thing because out of the chaos, many, many things are born. Right? At first, it feels really chaotic, right? Like, for example, take birth, okay? It's chaotic, right? But it's a beautiful transition into life when the baby is born. That whole experience can be very chaotic, but at the same time, it is a beautiful thing. So it's not that chaos is negative, but it's just that right now we're feeling the chaos energy of something coming, something awakening, and it is it starts with the chaos, and the chaos transforms into innovation, which in essence leads into this divine gift of innocence, where we allow ourselves to just fully flow, just go with whatever it is that we want in that moment. It's about fully living in the moment. This is part of a group of gene keys that together form the ring of life and death. So the themes of life, death, rebirth are found within this energy, and it is found in the navel center physiologically, connected to the navel center, which is our place of willpower, which is very Aries energy. Now the sun finds itself on the 50th gene key, which is the opposing gene key. And the 50th gene key is cosmic order, which isn't really order at all. You know what I'm saying? So this is why these two things, like chaos and cosmic order, they're very interesting energies. And this gene key flows from the shadow of corruption to the gift of equilibrium to the divine gift of harmony. And so these two things are asking humanity right now to move from the shadow of corruption to the gift of equilibrium, to finding that balance and that harmony, so that we can literally transcend and transmute all of the shadow energies and live both in a harmonious way through our innocence. And the connection is our immune system. So strengthening the immune system is really important at this time. So yeah, this stuff is really, really cool. So now what I want to do is go through all of the sun signs and tell you where the moon is going to be in your chart based off of your sun, moon, Venus, and rising. So we're going to go in order. We're going to begin with Aries, Sun, Moon, Venus rising. The moon, of course, is in your first house. So for you, this is a big, powerful shift, but an activation of your sense of self. So the moon in Aries, remember, it's about like coming out, liberating ourselves, being confident. For you, you're going to feel this very strongly in the way that you identify yourself. So it's going to be an internal experience that you are going to have with this moon. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. The moon is happening in your 12th house. So where you're feeling this inspiration, this courage, this creative life force is through your intuition, through your psychic abilities. You're being inspired to be creative in a very deep, soulful way, where maybe your emotions are part of how you're creating things. Maybe your dreams activate passion and creativity. That is how this moon is going to affect you in the 12th house. For Gemini, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising, this moon happening in your 11th house of friends and sharing your gifts with the world. The inspiration for you, the passion is about sharing your gifts. So what are your gifts, first of all, and how are you going to share them? Those are the themes that will come up for you during this full moon. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising, this moon is happening in your 10th house, which is the house of career and life path. So the passion, the activation, the liberation that you feel is about your path. It's like, when will my reflection show who I am inside? If you are not who you are inside to the outside world, which is the 10th house, if you are not showing up for the world fully with your inner self being your outer self at the same time, then you will not feel in alignment. And this moon will bring this up. Are you in alignment with who you are inside? Are you showing up in the world with who you are inside? Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. This moon is happening in your 9th house of spirituality, expansion, the teacher. So the moon being in this house is going to expand your sense of courage. This is also trining your energies, because fire and fire are signs that trine each other. So a positive activation of your inner fire as well, your willpower. And what you're going to want to do is expand. You're going to want to do things that make you like go bigger, go home. Leo, that's so Leo. Go bigger, go home. And this moon is really like making that theme in your life something that is really wanting to like come out and express itself, like roar like the lion with this moon, and let it help you expand and inspire you to learn more, to expand your horizons, to educate yourself about things that you're curious about, to let your curiosity guide you, all that good stuff. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. This moon is happening in your 8th house of death, change, and transformation. So this is definitely a rebirth for you. It's definitely a transmutation, a complete transformation for you, Virgo. And it is happening where you feel something about your sense of self is changing. There's a part of you that's dying because a new you is emerging. And that's the power of the 8th house. It will bring in death, but then it will always bring in life. Libra, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. This full moon is happening in your 7th house of relationships. Of course it is. It's opposite your energy, right? Especially if you're a Libra rising. So this is about relationships for you. This is where you're going to feel that passion activate, where you're going to feel that fire come alive within you. And you're going to want to also understand, who am I within these relationships? Like, who am I? How do I define myself? Am I allowed in this space, in this like mutual space that I share with other people? Am I allowed in it? Like, is my inner being allowed here? Does my reflection show who I am inside within this relationship? So very intense kind of deep dive into those themes for you in your life. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. This full moon is happening in your 6th house. So this is the house of work, being present, being in the moment, and also channeling those divine light codes through you, but seeing, being here right now, like not escaping, right? There's no escaping in the sixth house. You have no choice but to be right here. It's a very physical energy. It is also about the physical body, like your health, right? Which has to do with your body. Like if you feel it, you can touch it. It's very sensible here. So what this moon is saying, it's like there's an inspiration here, maybe a passion, maybe a creative, wanting to liberate yourself. So like create a new routine. Let go of old routines. That's really what this energy is asking you to do. Like, give up on the things that are not working for you. Stop trying to do the same thing in the same way over and over. Start a new routine. Completely like clear the desk and like set it up again. That kind of energy. And it has to do with being right here in the moment. This is how you're going to make it happen. Is it has to be present. It has to be something that you can experience right here, right now. So really powerful for Scorpio. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. This is the fifth house of creativity. So this is a beautiful place. Again, it's fire, trining your energy. Especially if you're a Sag rising, this is going to be trining your rising sign and whatever you have in your first house. So the power of this moon for you is really about your second chakra, that like creative life force that lives right there, that awakens when you allow yourself to go with the flow of your own intuition, of your own inner guiding system. This has to do with the emotions too. It's like, go with it. Where is it taking you? Why? Don't resist it. Of course, you naturally will not resist expansion and growth and moving forward. But this energy itself will activate this second chakra and the third chakra in a way that will like really give you that boost, that energy boost that you need. Remember, Aries is our energy. It gives us energy. So give you that boost to just kind of kick off like that your creativity. Wow, that's really powerful. These messages that are coming through are actually really amazing. Capricorn, Sun, Moon. I'm just as amazed as you guys when shit comes out of my mouth. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So the fourth house is the house. This is where it's happening. This is the house of the home and family, which is kind of the opposite energy. You really much love being out there in the world. Family is the different energy for you. It's very important as well. It can be just as important or maybe more important. But for some reason, because the 10th house opposes the fourth and your sign rules the 10th house, there's something about home that right now with this moon, I think it's a good thing because the focus, the intense emotional activation, which is a full moon. I don't know if you guys saw my reel that I posted. I made a little video, a reel on my Instagram, which make sure to follow me, Channel for Grace. And it is like this beautiful like moon, and it just keeps getting bigger because I was like zooming in. The power of that full moon in the fourth house is going to bring up a lot of things in terms of home and family. So whatever comes up, remember, moon square Pluto at the same time is like buried things will come up. And this may be a little dramatic, and I don't think Capricorn really likes that, or nobody really likes that, but this may be a little dramatic of a time, but at the same time, remember that like it's an activation, an initiation. What new things are you starting in your life in regards to home and family? And that'll give you some insight as to how this is really unraveling in your life. We've got Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, and this is a third house full moon, meaning that you might find yourself like singing, expressing yourself, maybe writing, journaling, speaking loudly, being erratic when it comes to like communicating, like just all over the place. But it is going to affect your mode of communication. And remember, communication can be throat chakra and voice, but it doesn't have to be, because communication can also be, like I said, through writing. It can be through music. It can be through creativity. So everything that you're creating and activating right now is being channeled through the way you communicate. That's how the moon is it's activating your ability to communicate. So it's a beautiful time for Aquarius to really express yourself in the way that obviously feels the best for you, but just find some kind of way to like just express that inner passion, express that inner courage, express that powerful creativity in some way. All right. And then last but not least, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. This is a second house transit for you. So this is the house of values, self-esteem, money, finances, security. So the moon shines a light. It's reflecting the light of the sun. So there's a lot also when you look at the house that I just told you and you look at the opposite house, something's going on there too. There's an opposition here, right? But the highlight, the light that shines really strongly right now is on this house, on the place of money, value, self-esteem, everything that I just mentioned, your sense of security. Like, am I grounded in life? Do I have the things that make me feel good, right? The moon in Taurus is actually in an exalted position. And so when the moon finds herself in the second house, actually adds that meaning to it. So you are feeling that security, you are feeling that activation, but at the same time, there's something that you need to take action towards, and it has to do with this realm of your life. So ask yourself, what is it that I'm ready to start creating, to initiate in my life in terms of these themes of security, abundance, money, things that you love, values, and self-esteem. So there you go, you guys. That was all the signs, and that was all of the information about this moon. Tomorrow, we are going to do a full moon ceremony, and tomorrow I'll be on time, don't worry. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna jam out to this powerful energy. Make sure to check out the description below if you want to sign up for the special holiday reading. Please do. Spots are limited, so if you really want it, make sure to sign up soon. Also, make sure to get on my email list and follow me on Instagram and MeWe at Channel for Grace. There's so many ways that you can stay connected, but the best is really the email list. So thank you guys so much. I so appreciate your support, and I hope that you guys have a beautiful evening, and I will see you again tomorrow for our full moon ceremony. Sat Nam.